everybody, how's it going? Dina with North Idaho Kayaking. I hope everybody's very excited about this season. We're going to have a great kayaking season, yay! Since it is that time of year, everybody's kind of gearing up and getting ready to go. And if you're out there looking to buy a used kayak, I want to go over some stuff you need to look for. Excuse me. First off, whatever end you start at, it doesn't matter, but you want to check absolutely everything from bow to stern. Check your handles, make sure they're good, if they need replaced or not. Lids. If a kayak is missing a lid, most of these now you can actually buy replacements online. I think some of the older models you can't. I have no idea. You also want to open these up. You're looking for mold. Mine's got stuff in it. But you're going to look around, look for mold and stuff, because all that needs to be cleaned out. If the string is still there, pop your head in there. Just kind of take a look around. Check all your decking. All this stuff can be purchased online and replaced, so even if something is a little bit too loose, Jazz can tell you all about replacing decking. You want to check the bulkheads. If the kayak you have has bulkheads, you want to make sure that the seal around both bulkheads is looking good, doesn't have any leaks, or if it doesn't need replaced altogether. You also want to check your foot pegs, make sure those are movable, so you can set what's comfortable for you. Seat padding. There's different types of seats where you actually pull a string, the back comes up. These lift up and down. You want to check all that. Check all your straps. Again, decking. Another compartment. For those that have rudders, you'll want to go all over that. Make sure everything's good there with all the mechanics and stuff that go with that. Terribly sorry. Okay. So let me get this lid back on here. Some of these are kind of a pain in the butt to do, but I find that if you kind of pull it up a little bit, pull it back, and then snap it over, pretend like it's a Tupperware lid. Anyway, so now we are going to look at the underside, and this is what you need to do. This is the most important thing of this whole deal, is you're going to flip that kayak over. And you're going to look at, go over the surface of the underside of this. You're going to see normal wear and tear scratches. They all have them, especially right at the tip, the nose and the end. It's just from scratching along the rocks or whatever when you're trying to get out on the water. But what you're looking for is you're looking for gouges, dings, really deep scratches, things like that. You don't want it to go too far. These things are repairable, but if it's got a really deep one, you don't feel like you need to put the money into it. You might be able to talk them down on the price if things like that have to be repaired. As far as kayaks that have a seam, and when I'm talking about a seam, I'm talking about where the top and the bottom, this would be a seam if it was a thermal formed kayak, like a Delta or an Eddy line. Pelicans have a seam also, and the Sun Dolphins from Walmart have a seam. They have that hard seam right there, and you need to check that. You need to check and make sure on the Deltas and the Eddy lines, they have seam tape, but you need to make sure there's no water leaking through that seam where it's sealed. because it does deteriorate after a while. And that's something that a lot of these videos don't tell you to do, is check that seam and check the scratches. Make sure you check the underhull, or the hull, sorry. As far as the length and things of that nature, trust me when I say anything under 12 feet, you know, is probably great for kids, or if you just kind of plan on hanging out, or if you're a fisherman. If you want something with more speed, you're not killing yourself, you know, getting out there, but if you want something with more speed, something you can go kayak camping with, you're going to need a longer boat. Okay, longer boats are 13 up to, you know, as long as they go. That's a 13. It is just as stable as this 10.4 Equinox. Sorta. This one I can roll over, this one I cannot. I have tried to tip it and it does not tip. So, yes, the longer you go, you got to adjust for a little more stability in your ride, but that is something that you get over real quick. A 12-footer is really nice, middle of the road, recreational. If you want to spend a night kayak camping, you got enough room. There's a truck going by. It's long enough you can keep up without killing yourself in a shorter kayak or a heavier kayak. Excuse me. So really, I recommend a 12, and just watch the group page. When we do run into deals, if you haven't noticed, we post those, and with the price, because, you know, we've been around long enough that we know, you know, this was $300. That's a good deal. So, but you know, you have to check over these things and make sure that everything is good to go. So I just wanted to drop that, so you guys look for things like that. Don't get gypped. One thing before I do forget, because I forgot in the last one, hull identification numbers. Every kayak has kind of a different location, the older ones. This particular model is sitting right here behind the seat. This fishing kayak, where most of these are, is on the back top right side of the kayak. And these last 3 digits right here, this was manufactured in 8/2018. That's the month and the year. That's how old you're going to tell how old your kayak is when you're buying an older used model. It might help when you're researching things, especially when you get into the longer kayaks or the more expensive ones, so you can do a little background research on that. Okay, that's all I got. See you on the water.